Hi everybody, my name is Autumn. I also go by Akii Sims here on my channel. I am doing a showcase of Mount Komorebi. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Enjoy! First stop, we're going to stop off in Wakaba. Like its namesake, Wakaba is young, new, and bright as the leaves of the tree in early springtime. This small town is up and coming in the region, home to beautiful, sleek new homes and an attractive town center featuring Mount Komorebi's official mascot, Yama-chan. Tourists of all ages can enjoy the festival of youth or simply take in the neighborhood's natural beauty. The first build I want to showcase is Hazakura. This is a lounge slash restaurant and a tea house. It is heavily inspired by Raya 28. However, I did build this while watching her build, and then I kind of changed some things up a little bit, just a tad. So I wanted to show you guys the inside of this build real quick. Alright, so when you come inside this build, the first thing you're met with is the front desk. You also have like this eating area here. It's very beautiful. I love this place so much. It is styled as a restaurant for me. And then there is some stairs here that take you up to the lounge. We'll actually go ahead and we'll go up there. So this lounge area is supposed to be like really dark and moody. It does actually work as a lounge if you were to change this from a restaurant to a lounge. Going back downstairs, we have this long, beautiful hallway here where you can see a nice little Zen garden. Actually, I do live in Japan, so this is so normal to see just Zen gardens inside of random hotels and very like old kabuki style homes. Like this is normal. It's very beautiful in here. There's also a garden out here. You can't actually get down here. I don't have it available for the public. You can't get down here, but I thought it was really beautiful. Then we have the tea house. So the tea house here, it's just for aesthetics. It doesn't actually run as a tea house, but you can come in and have your Sims drink some tea. I put some tea sets here and some fake ones just for like aesthetic purposes. And you can also come here and just sit and look out at the garden. I personally think that this would be so beautiful to come to in the fall because I think that fall time in Japan is just the most spectacular. If we go to this little elevator here, we go downstairs. That's where you will have your kitchen and your bathrooms for the public to use. But yeah, I really like this build. Like I said, it's not originally my own, but I think that based off of, you know, me living in the country, which this is based off of, I think I did a pretty good job of like kind of mimicking what it should feel like. And yeah, we're gonna go to some of the houses in the area because I know that it said that this place was up and coming and the houses were new, but they're really not. So let's go look at the first house. Alright, so the first house that we have here is 241 Wakaba Mori, and this home is for an elderly couple, so let's go ahead and let's go inside. So we have Sachiko Jackson here. She is a native of Mount Komorebi. She actually lives here with her husband who should be coming in here soon. Yep, this is Efren Jackson. Efren is from San Myshuno, and they live here in their home, and they have two children. They have two children named, I forgot the kids' names, y'all. Alaric and Psycho. Yes. So if you watch my Zara's Let's Play series on my main channel, then you guys know who this family is. You know who that man is. But anyway, so when you come into their home, I want to do this little tour real quick. So if you come into their home, you have the Genkan. I did not put anything in here because this is just where you put your shoes, and then they still have their shoes on. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so when you come in, this is kind of what you see. I did not paint the ceilings because there's currently a ceiling glitch going on right now. I'm waiting for EA to fix it. But there's family photos everywhere of the family as they grew up and stuff. And one thing I like about building in this style is because I live in Japan, I have kind of like firsthand knowledge of seeing what a Japanese home typically looks like. And with elderly couples, it very much just looks like this. So they've got their living room space here, and then obviously their living room is attached to their dining space, which is just a kotatsu table on the floor. And we have some more family photos here. Now, typically in Japanese homes, they will have family photos at the very top of the room. They don't usually have family photos on the walls because this is paper, so you wouldn't be able to put a family portrait there. Most of the walls are pretty thin, so yeah, just easier for them to tear down for, earthquake purposes. In this room, this is the kitchen. I kept it very simple. I don't think that they do a whole lot of cooking now that the kids are out of the house. And then if you come back here, you have the bathroom that is the only area to use like the tub. Typical to Japanese homes, I do have the toilet separated from the rest of the bathroom area. And I don't have a mirror in here because usually people would just use this mirror to do their stuff. And I made sure that there's no wood in here because we don't want any mold. Coming up these stairs here, we're gonna go upstairs to their primary bedroom. I left it pretty simple in here. I didn't want it to be too crazy. I also took advantage of the dim lighting and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of Japanese homes are not as bright as you would think they are. There is a toilet up here. The one thing about Japanese homes, especially more modern homes too, there will be a toilet upstairs, but you will almost never find a bathtub or shower upstairs in a Japanese home. It is always going to be on the main level. Just FYI. Here are their kids' bedrooms when they still lived here. I think they just kind of kept it the same. They didn't do a whole lot different. And then here we have their son's bedroom. And outside, of course, they have a cow and some chickens. And then they have their dog, Paco. So I wanted to actually show you guys. I do have like a lot of lore built into the Sims. So Sachiko here is actually in a walking group. She's in a group with her friend Sachiko, because there's two Sachikos in this neighborhood, and Junko, and they go walking around. It's called the Granny's Walk. They go walking around in Senmanbachi. I think that's the name of it. But they go walking around. One thing about Japan, and probably most Asian cultures, a lot of the older ladies like to go walking in the morning. A lot of the men also go walking, but usually it's for health reasons. But women, they make it a whole social event. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I wanted to showcase this house. I just wanted to mention that when I upload this save file, obviously you will not be getting the Sims. I just wanted to show you guys kind of an idea of what I do. All my builds will be uploaded onto my gallery so you can get them, but it's just too difficult to take away CC from my Sims and make them look how I envisioned them without CC. So unfortunately, my save file will not be coming with Sims. So it'll just be builds. But honestly, you have so many options to get people off the gallery. We'll talk about that maybe a little later. So let's go ahead and let's check out some of these other homes. I have 2 homes here that are empty, so we're gonna go check those out in build mode. And then I do have a residential rental with some homes over here that I think you guys would absolutely enjoy. So let's go ahead and let's head over. Next we have 242 Wakaba Mori. This house is not occupied, so it is empty, but it is move-in ready. Let's show you the floor plan. I'll do bird's eye view. So basically the front door is over here in the corner. When you walk in, you have the Genkan. For all my Japanese builds, I do have the Genkan area kind of leveled down a little bit because technically it is a step down from the rest of the house. You have to step into it and then step out of it when you come into a Japanese house. The first room here, we have a bedroom. It is empty. This Genkan area right here, this actually is where you would either put like a little shrine or shoes or a little closet, somewhere to put all your shoes and mess so that the Genkan is not cluttered up with junk. Then over here, like I said, you have a bedroom. Over here is your bathroom for the downstairs. Like I said, there is a separate toilet. There's a sink area and a washing tub shower combo area. Then you've got this bedroom. This could either be a bedroom or it could be a TV room or something. A lot of Japanese homes have this thing which is called an engawa, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, an engawa. It's basically like this part is open up to the outside, so you could open these and like look out into the courtyard and you could really jump out there. I think this is the most beautiful part. I have some builds that have bigger ones, but I wanted to incorporate this a little bit. Then we have a full tatami mat room. Now, tatami is really hard to take care of, so this room I would imagine would be like a sitting room or maybe the kotatsu table room. You could have a living room in here, but I would use a couch that did not have legs for it, just for the realism purposes. And then here is the modern kitchen. So you could also use this as a, not a bowl being out. Must have, anyway. This could be used as a place for people to stay with their own vacation, but you'd have to furnish it, obviously. Coming back into this hallway here, going up the stairs, we do have one massive big room because there's already 2 bedrooms downstairs. I didn't want this one to be too crazy. There's 2 closets and they have a really good view of like the area here. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. And just to let you know, in Japan, the older houses do have these big, beautiful windows, but Japanese people are very private. So most of the time they have like crazy curtains up. I have blackout curtains because I just like it dark. But yeah, this is this area. It's so beautiful. I like how secluded it is with this line of bamboo. I like that there's privacy here if you want to like have this Zen garden moment. It's just really nice. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to look at this next house here. In my personal save, it is furnished, but for you guys, it will not be furnished. So let's go ahead and let's hop over. Okay, so the last house that I have over here that is empty is 243 Wakaba Mori. This house I am so prideful of because it is the exact replica of my fake Japanese family's house in Fukushima, Japan. I tried to do my best. I've never been upstairs to their house, so I don't really know what the upstairs looks like. I just kind of made it, I finessed what I could. Okay, so first you have this Genkan here. This is where you will put your shoes. It's very grand, very beautiful. And then when you walk in, you have this tatami mat floor. In my family's home, this is where the computer was. This was kind of like where they hang their laundry because there's windows on either side, so it gets a lot of flow through air. So this is where they would hang their laundry on like really wet days or like days that isn't so good for outside drying. And then here they have just a little back patio to get to this little area here. In this hallway here, this will take you straight down to the kitchen. So this is the kitchen. It's super massive. It's set up so that you can put a table here. That's why it's so big. And then next to the kitchen, we have their massive tatami mat floor room. There's so many tatami mats in here. This is probably the most expensive looking like floor plan that you could imagine in The Sims. Well, in real life, honestly, because tatami is not cheap, y'all. But yeah, this is where they would do most of their entertaining. This is where we would have like game nights and stuff like that. Very fun being around them. And then here in the back, we have a bedroom. It's a small bedroom, but I can imagine this could be a bedroom for some grandparents or maybe a grandma or a grandpa. And then next to their bedroom, you have the bathroom. So you've got the sink and then you've got the bathtub and shower, and then the toilet is separate, of course, like it's supposed to be. And then over here next to the bathroom and the bedroom, you do have some stairs here. So these stairs take you upstairs here. I've never been upstairs in their home because I think it's kind of rude to just walk up in people's home like that. But with what I had based on the floor plan, I decided to put 2 bedrooms up here. I know for a fact that my fake Japanese cousin has his own bedroom, and then my fake Japanese auntie and uncle had their own bedroom. So I assumed that there was 2 bedrooms upstairs. Off of the bedroom hallways, there is this area to put your laundry. Technically, there should be a clothesline in all of these places because Japanese homes do not actually have dryers. However, I couldn't be bothered to add a dryer or like a clothesline, so it's fine for the most part. I personally really love this home because it just reminds me so much of their home, and I've spent so many summers like hanging out with them. And their yard, they had like actual farmland over here, so it was really fun picking strawberries and picking blueberries and playing and having game nights with my family, my fake family. But yeah, so this is what their house looks like. I definitely wanted to keep it pretty like true to their home, so I actually had to get on Google and like Google Maps their home, look around, make sure it looked accurate. But yeah, so now we're gonna head over to this lot, which is a residential rental. Okay, so the first lot that we have on here is the Kuakata family home. The Kuakata family is actually known to be the property owners of this place. They are consisting of a few members. Let's go ahead and let's show you what the inside of their home and the people that live here are. Okay, so first we have the grandparents, Jiro and Junko. Jiro and Junko, they met a long time ago, like in like the 50s, I don't know. And basically they've been together ever since. They do have their daughter Ano, and Ano is very rambunctious and sweet. She married her high school sweetheart Eita, and she actually is friends with the Nishidaki family. They are all friends with the Nishidaki family because they were friends with their like children back in the day. There's a whole thing. Then Eita and Ano have 2 twin boys, Riku and Raiku, and they all live in this house together. So let's look at the inside of their house. So when you come in, you have this Genkan area. I wanted to make it look pretty fleshed out. This will give you a good like representation of what it's supposed to look like in a Genkan. This is where you would have your coats and like, you know, just stuff that like shoes and stuff like that. There's no shoes in here. And then immediately you have the first bathroom. So obviously the toilet is separate. And then when you come into this hallway, this is a really massive house, by the way. So you have an office here. I feel like Eita probably works from home a lot, so he has his office set up here. I also have a lot of pictures of the kids when they were younger. This is Ano when she was in high school, and this is when they brought the boys home for the first time. This is the boys when they were younger and when they're like little babies. So I definitely wanted it to feel lived in. This is their living room. Their living room, I wanted to keep it pretty simple. It's a place where like they can just relax. Grandparents have jobs, so I feel like after they have a long day, this is where they would come to sit and relax. It also has, like I said, an Ingawa area, like an opening so that you can come out here onto the patio and just look out. Next to the I also put pictures up here like I said before. Next to the living room is the eating room. This is where they would eat dinner, and usually they have these areas in Japanese homes like this. There was one in the first house that we looked at, but it's like a shrine area. And so what I've done in another household is I've set it up as a shrine, like legitimately as a shrine, because some of the Sims died. So I'll show you guys that later. But then if you come here, they do have an actual kitchen table where they eat, and this is their kitchen. I feel like Junko cooks a lot. She's always cooking for her family. She likes to dote on her grandsons. Behind the kitchen, we do have the biggest bathroom in here. This is going to be where the bathroom is. Because they are property owners, they do make a little bit of money, so they have a dryer, which is very rare in Japan. Most people don't have dryers, they just have washing machines. So they have this, and then this I love because the bathtub is outside, out the back. And I love that because in the winter, if you want to take a nice hot steamy bath, but you don't want to go all the way up to the onsen, you can do it back here. And it's private, it's privated off. There's no way that people can peek over and look at you. So yeah, coming back into the hallway here, you do have the grandparents' bedroom back here in the back. I put a lot of curtains up, so technically you can see straight outside to the rice paddy fields, but they have these curtains up, and it's just really a vibe in here for real. They've got a picture of their daughter because they love her so much. And then we're gonna go upstairs. Up these stairs here, you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. Now, I know I said typically they will not have a second bathroom upstairs, but like I said, these property owners, they make money. Okay, so this is what the upstairs looks like. The boys, they share a bedroom. They've got some pictures up here of themselves as children. And yeah, I think that their vibe is pretty chill, but not too crazy. I haven't been in a lot of Japanese teenage boy bedrooms, obviously, thank goodness, because I'm an adult, but I kind of just did my best. And then here we have some more pictures. Here is a picture of Ano and Eita getting married, and Eita holding Raiku for the first time. And so and so we have the bathroom here, separate toilet, and then this is Eita and Ano's bedroom. It's very, very massive. I feel like in the past, because this is a family home, a generational home, this probably was Junko and Jito's room, but obviously in their old age they decided to move downstairs. It's less travel back and forth, it's better on their knees. And then they have this little balcony area that you can't actually access because this is way too high off the ground, but it just kind of gives a vibe, you know? So this is the first of the homes. I really enjoyed having the multiple entrances into the house. A lot of Japanese homes have a lot of entrances into the houses and stuff like that, and they have their own little yard, but because this is not closed off, everybody can come here. Also, this is a shared patio shed. You'll often see this in Japan, where you'll see a bunch of different homes together will have one shed that everybody uses. Obviously, because this lot is so massive, I wanted to make sure that I represented Japan correctly as far as I know it. And one thing that they are known for is their rice paddy fields. Now, I did have shrubbery in here, but it made it impossible to get to the lot, so I deleted it. You can just assume that maybe they've already planted the rice for the season, or maybe they're going to plant the rice for the season. I also put a community board here. Technically you could walk around and use the path for this, but it's just a place for people to sit. And then this house is empty, so we'll show you this house next, and then I'll show you the little quiet house in the back. All right, so we have the next build here on this lot. This is a residential rental. They have their own parking lot area here, so you can park your car. This is common actually in Japanese homes, having your car be parked outside. They don't usually have they have garages, but not for these super old homes, not usually. So this is the inside. The main entrance is here. You have a genkan here, and then you open up to a private room. This could be an office or maybe a playroom if you have children. Then you have this hallway, and I love this hallway because look at the view of the tree in the center. It just, ignore the clipping, but it's gorgeous. In this hallway, it'll lead you down to what I would assume would be the living room. And then next to the living room is a kitchen space. Oh, sorry, there is a birthday cake in here. Can you tell I play tested this? Yes, I have. And then behind the kitchen, there is a bathroom. So what's different about this bathroom is instead of the separate shower piece, there is like a combination shower. And I went ahead and I left the washer and dryer in here because I figured that this house would be really fancy. To be transparent with you, I did have the Ito family living here before, but I wanted to kind of free up this house because I gave them a newer home. I'll show you guys that another time. So I did move them out, but I wanted to keep the bones of this. So next to the living room here, we do have what I would assume would be the primary bedroom. And that should go. And in the primary bedroom, they do have this super huge shower. Now, I took the shower head out of here because I figured you could put a bathtub in here if you wanted, or a shower. That would be up to you if you decided. They also have a separate toilet and 2 sinks. In my previous like furnishing of this was kind of like a walk-in closet space, just so that they had places to put their closets. Their clothes, I guess. If you come up here using these stairs, this is how we have 2 more bedrooms. You have a bedroom here and a bedroom here. They're much smaller, but I assume it's for like kids. And then you have this like common area. Now the reason I like this common area is because it's open and like look, you can just look outside. It's gorgeous. Then they have a bathroom up here. Like I said, this is not common. This is not common in Japanese homes, but I decided to put a bathroom up here in the event that the kids needed to use the toilet. They didn't have to go all the way downstairs to use the toilet. So this is what this house looks like. They do also have their own little private like backyard. It's a little more private, like cut off from the rest of the build. So if you wanted to do yoga back here, or you wanted it to be like really quiet, you didn't have to worry about the neighbors being too nosy. And then they also have this little Zen garden. Let me show you here in the front, where you have like some fish and some fireflies at night. And yeah, this place is just really sweet and really comfortable. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into the final build for this neighborhood. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. All right, so the last house we have over here is actually home to the Nishidaki family, and I wanted to show you guys what their house looks like on the inside. But first, let me kind of introduce you to them. You may already know them because they are equipped to come with this world if you have Snowy Escape. So first we have Shigeru. He is like the patriarch of the family. He kind of like does his own thing. He is, yeah, he's got beef with a couple of people in the neighborhood, in the town. So yeah. Then we've got his wife Sachiko and his granddaughter Kaori, and they both live here with him. They also have a cat. Or they used to have a cat. Did the cat die? I think maybe the cat died. But I wanted to show you guys what the house looked like. So let me just show you. When you walk in, yeah, they totally have a cat. Where'd their cat go? I don't know where their cat went. They have a bowl. I have to put the cat back. Maybe the cat died. But yeah, so this is the Genkan area here. There's lots of shoes. I wanted to look very lived in. In the Sims game, they do explain that like Kaori's parents passed away, but they never made them. So what I did was I actually went in and I made them, and then I took all these photos and stuff. In my mind, their son is Kaori's dad, and so Kaori and her mom and dad are here. Her mom died. The parents died when they were younger. So, or when she was younger, I guess. And I put all these pictures in like black and white because like this was a while ago. I just love like the realism I did there. And then we have this super long, super wide hallway that leads to the living room. Here we've got some old photos of like Kaori when she was younger. As you can see here, this is Kaori's father when he was in high school. And this, if you guys can tell, this is Ano from across the way, the house we just looked at. This is her father. I do not remember what I named him. Maybe it was like Taisei or Taisei. And then this is the Ito family girl. I cannot remember her name. The one that comes with the expansion pack as well. They were all friends when they were younger, and yeah, this was just a regular neighborhood girl that he fell in love with, and he had Kaori, and this is when they were younger and everything. I just love the lore. This is Akiho, the Yamada, or I think that's his last name, y'all. I don't remember these people's names. The one boy, that's that's him right there. They were friends. So there was like 4 of them. They were all friends. Something tragic happened when they got a little older and they passed away, and then that kind of led his decision to go to Sanmai Shuno and break up with the Ito girl. And then yeah, that whole thing happened. So there's like lore here, y'all know what I'm saying? There's lore here. So anyway, coming into the living room here, we have this quiet little living room. I didn't want to make it too busy. These are old people we're talking about. They live with their granddaughter, but you know, they're still gonna do what they gotta do. I personally love their Ingawa the most. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Like, she can sit out here and do her like knitting and everything. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks like she just made some dinner. But this is the shrine that I was talking about earlier. This is the shrine that they set up for their family. And it's just really beautiful. It's a way for them to remember their children and Kaori's parents. I think that that's a really beautiful idea if you guys want to play realistically. Back here, we do have more formal of a dining room area. They don't really use this as much though, because most of the time they just eat in the kotatsu table room. And then here is their kitchen. I wanted to go for something super cluttered, super lived in, super old. Like, grandma be in the kitchen, okay? She be cooking it up. And back here we have a washer and dryer here. There's also a bathroom over here right off of the hallway before you get to the stairs, but obviously we've seen enough bathrooms. I'm not gonna show you all the bathrooms. Coming up the stairs, we have the grandparents' room. So the grandparents, obviously they've got a picture of their son who passed away, and then they've got a picture of him with them together. And this room, I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I did put some marks behind the wall because this place is pretty old. And if you guys know anything about this like paper wall situation, these things are flimsy. They're flimsy. You can easily poke a hole in them. My last apartment had walls like that. And then here in the living or in the hallway, you've got more pictures. You've got a seating area, just a place for people to just come and chill. Once again, we have this like opened up space where you can see the rest of the neighborhood. I love it. And then last but not least, we have Kaori's room. So Kaori is actually really close to the Ito boys family, the Ito family. She likes to surfboard or skate, not surfboard. She likes to snowboard and ice skate and stuff like that. So she's always outside. So I wanted her room to look very cluttered and messy, and she's into cutesy kawaii stuff, and she's got pictures of her parents, and you know, I just wanted it to look like she lives in here. So yeah, and then there's a bathroom up here. It's her bathroom. Well, it's not just her bathroom, but it's mostly her bathroom, and there's like stains on the wall, and you know, it's kind of a mess. But yeah, so I need to put their cat back in their house. I don't know where their cat went. Their cat's name was Moshi. I don't know where he is. Maybe he ran away. But yeah, so this is the neighborhood. My reasoning behind doing it this way was because I wanted it to blend in. So as you can see, it's house, 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 house. This lot was massive, and I was thinking of doing another house here, but I decided I didn't want that many residential rentals over here. So I wanted to make sure that I could properly represent what I thought this part of Japan would look like, especially seeing as I have previously lived in a place that looks just like this. So I think that this video has gotten actually kind of long. I'm going to wrap it up here. We will finish the tour in the other areas in a separate video. Like I said, these builds will be on my gallery. My gallery ID is Akii Sims. If you do try to find these builds, sometimes they are marked as having used CC. It's just because I used a tool mod. There is no CC to these builds. They are CC free, but because I used a tool mod, that's kind of why that happens. I also use debug, and sometimes debug catalog is categorized as having CC. So I will see you guys later. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any inspiration, if you pulled inspiration from me, please comment down below what you thought. I really would love to hear from you. I love building in this game. It's just so much fun. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. So bye.